Hello everyone, this is Warhawk Beyond 2040 and welcome to another edition of the Jazz Albums Review Series. And today I'm going to be taking a look at another brand new 2023 release, this time from one of the most celebrated, decorated, respected and iconic musicians of all time, and is one of the most important voices for the piano and has been a major force in the jazz scene since the 1960s and has played with just about everyone, from Don Cherry to Jan Garbarek to Charles Lloyd to Red Mitchell to Tomasz Stanko to Tyje Rypdal to Sonny Rollins to Gary Burton, to name a few. And he has seen it all and done it all and needs no introduction whatsoever. I am talking about, of course, the one and only legendary pianist, composer, and bandleader, Bobo Stenson. And this is his newest recording for ECM Records, Sphere. So, Sphere marks the first time in almost 5 years since 2018's Contra la Indecisión that Bobo Stenson has recorded and released an album featuring new material. And this features Bobo Stenson's working trio comprised of himself on piano with longtime collaborator, bassist Anders Jormin and drummer Jon Falt. And this is also another first for Bobo Stenson. Sphere features no Bobo Stenson originals whatsoever. Apart from two Anders Jormin originals, most of the pieces that are featured on this album are either standards or classical pieces, but this doesn't alter or take away from the fact that this is still a magnificent trio recording with three world-class musicians at the top of their game and on top musical form. And for me, as great as Bobo Stenson is with other musicians as a sideman or some of his classic collaborations, for me, Bobo Stenson is at his very best working in a piano trio, and trust me when I tell you, it doesn't get any better than the Bobo Stenson trio. Anders Jormin, as I mentioned, has been a long-time collaborator for Bobo Stenson, and he's featured very heavily on this album. Lots of great bass work from Jormin. Jon Falt, an incredible drummer, brings a lot of very laid-back drumming to the music, and he also plays a very big part as well. And Bobo Stenson, some of his most classiest and elegant piano playing is featured on this album. And trust me, it doesn't get any better than these three gentlemen. So let's have a look. And as always, ECM always do a very beautiful album cover. And there's a list of the musicians who play on the album. Bobo Stenson on piano, Anders Jormin on bass, and Jon Falt on drums. And there's the track listing, and composed as well. There's the trio in action. The master himself. Gorgeous shot of the rhythm section as well. And another great shot of the master himself and some credits as well. And as always with ECM, top-notch production courtesy of the maestro himself, Manfred Eicher. And, as I said, it doesn't get any better than ECM. They always deliver the goods when it comes to their production level and sound quality. And this is a great sounding album. All of the musicians are featured very promptly, and they just sound absolutely crisp as well. So tracks we've got here are You Shall Plant a Tree by Per Norgard, Unquestioned Answer, Charles Ives in Memoriam by Anders Jormin, Spring by Sven-Erik Bach, Kingdom of Coldness by Anders Jormin, Communion Passam by Sven-Erik Bach, The Red Flower by Jung Hee Woo, Kai and Beautiful Madam Kai by Alfred Jansson, Vous êtes au 40/1 by Jon Sibelius, and a variation of You Shall Plant a Tree, also by Pierre Norgard. A beautiful collection of songs. And as I mentioned, no Bobo Stenson originals, mostly all standards or classical pieces, and 2 Anders Jormin's originals, but at the same time, this is still a fantastic album. Very much a band effort, lots of space for everyone to improvise and do their thing. And for me, Bobo Stenson Trio is one of the most important bands in the history of jazz music. They may have not had as many albums as a band like the Keith Jarrett Standards Trio, but these guys still belong in the conversation when you're talking about some of the all-time piano trios in the history of jazz music. So, standout tracks for me are Communion per Psalm, Unquestioned Answer, Charles Ives In Memoriam, The Red Flower, You Shall Plant a Tree variation, and You Shall Plant a Tree original. But at the same time, this is still a great collection of songs from top to bottom, and it's great to see Bobo Stenson back with a brand new album. And, you know, as I said before when I was talking about Ralph Towner, you know, it's been a long time. Obviously, Ralph Towner's had a little bit longer since he last recorded a new album, but it's been, you know, as I said, over 5 years almost since Bobo Stenson has recorded an album, you know, since 2018. And it's great to have him back to his absolute best, still going very strong. Great piano playing from Bobo Stenson as always. Anders Jormin, one of the best and most reliable bass players on ECM. You know, he's featured on quite a lot of great ECM recordings. Jon Falt matches up very well with these two legends. And, you know, Bobo Stenson and Anders Jormin have had a long association with one another. And Anders Jormin has pretty much played on virtually most of Bobo Stenson's trio recordings. And he's just an incredible bass player, and he can make anything and everything sound great. And he plays a big part, as I mentioned, in the music as well. And him and Jon Falt, they just absolutely rock as a rhythm section. And for me, I really like listening to the Bobo Stenson Trio a lot. Very classy, very elegant. You know, there's not a lot of rushing. It's just very, very laid back, and it's kind of like the perfect music to listen to if you're having a nice glass of wine or you just want to relax and just put your feet up. And, you know, these guys are the perfect people to listen to. You know, they're just a really great band and 3 outstanding musicians on peak form. So there you have it. Bobo Stenson Trio Sphere. Fantastic album and another standout for 2023. Great stuff. So that's going to be it from me. I am going to wrap this up now. What's your favourite track from Bobo Stenson Trio Sphere? Is it You Shall Plant a Tree, You Shall Plant a Tree variation, Unquestioned Answer, Charles Ives In Memoriam, Spring, Kingdom of Coldness, Communion per Psalm, The Red Flower, Kai and Beautiful Kai, or Volsalte Op 40/1? There's no right or wrong answer. We all have our favourite tracks. You know what to do, guys. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, leave your thoughts and comments down below, and I will see all of you next time for another edition of the Jazz Albums Review Series. And once again, a special shout out to 2 fine gentlemen from the ECM Facebook group, Adrian Goldsmith and John Kelman, 2 fine gentlemen who I have a lot of great respect for. Much love to both of you. So until next time, take care everybody and stay safe, and once again as always, much appreciated. Thanks for listening.